Hi, everyone who's joining us on YouTube. We are painting the Chinese mountains with atmospheric perspective using two colors that make blue, two unusual colors that make blue, violet and green. The two colors that I'm using are by a paint company called My Merry Blue. And the two colors are Permanent Violet Bluish, which is PV19, and Green Blue, which is PG8, I think. So anyway, we're going to get going.
What was the first color? Permanent violet? Oh, okay, I know it. I got it. Thank you. Just a little late here, just a little behind.
This is what it's going to end up looking like. And I'm painting from this card, which I bought at the Asparagus Festival a few years ago by Ann Zhu. So here's, I just flipped it over. I'm going to use the back of this. I'm going to take my 3/4 inch brush and wet the whole paper. Let me get it nice and wet. And this paper absorbs quite a bit of water, so you can also spray your paper with a spray bottle. Or just take your time. I love this paper, this 200-pound paper. It's really, it looks and acts like Arches 140, but because it's thicker, it doesn't, larger than an 8 sheet does not need to be stretched. And I love the little watermark. Mine's buckling a little bit, I think because I painted on the other side. I'm wiping off the edges with a paper towel so that I don't get the water to run back into it. So that is going to be. So,
It feels so good, Mary Kay, to be with you. Thank you.
Oh, it's so good to see you. Arlene and I go back. The only person I go back further with than you today, Arlene, is Shar.
Hi, Shar.
So I'm going to use only two colors for this whole painting. And the permanent violet right there, you can see how purple it is. Well, violet it is. Oh, so beautiful. And green blue. And when I add it to it, it turns blue. Just like that beautiful blue. Now here's the problem. My brush is 100% loaded with amazing pigment, but I want to make the palest background of this color. So what I'm going to do is just take this brush and go over here and just make a really, really light puddle with it. And I'm going to test it down here. Yeah. So that's about how dark I want it. And I'm just going to brush this pale color all over. And I want it super pale. I'm using up and down strokes on this because the mountains have an up and down feel to them. It's not a bad time to sign it. find my little signer. Little signer over there in my pencils. It's supposed to be with my brushes. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna sign it right in here. Digging into my wet paper, Mary Kate S. period Jolly with a C and a circle around it. And this part of my painting, I'm going to point to with this brush right here where the trees are going to go is right in here. And so this is, I have a little bit of a blue spot there, but we just want this whole background so pale. And now I'm going to dry it. I just dried this. Now I'm going to take my pencil brush, which is a round number 10 brush, and I'm going to paint the mountains that go up here and then make this little three-prongy thing and come down, and then they kind of disappear in here. So that's what I'm going to paint right now. And what I'm going to do is take the blue that I use all on the sky, all over, and just add a little more paint to it. So I just brought it up one tiny little bit. I'm going to start up here and see what it looks like. So I'm painting, right here's where I have my background mountain very, very pale. So it's right up here. And then it comes down. So I just want to have those peaks. It's not in the center, just above a half and just off the center. So it's going to be right about there. So my mountain's going to go from here. And it's kind of rough. It comes down. I better get water in on this so it doesn't. I don't want to have a harsh edge. I need to have this all blended. I can just make this kind of go to nothing over here. And then it makes a little, here's my it's like 3 fingers. It's like a little hand. I want to make it perfectly symmetrical. But it is like a little hand. And I just add water all down here and just soften this. This just makes a disappearing edge. It just softens away to nothing. I feel like this needs a little more paint, so. I added so much water, it made that. The next step, now I'm going to dry that. All right, I'm getting my recording going. I've dried this now. I'm going to work on, there's a little bitty set of mountains right in here. That's what I'm going to work on now. So I'm going to add another bit of blue. I might even add some extra green to this. So I'm just changing the color slightly. I could add purple if I wanted, make it more purpley. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. There, it's more purpley than blue now. I'm gonna add the right amount of water so that I have it darker than that one, but not as dark as this is gonna be. So I'm trying to do this one in here. And it starts, so if I draw straight down the middle of my painting, right here, this is and it's lower than the half. So it's kind of right in here. It makes a dip. It comes up. Has some little tree shapes. They're sort of vague though. And I just accidentally touched my brush there, so I'm making another little thing. And it drops down and goes into fog. So that's just water down here. Just make this all a big disappearing edge. Lots of runny, watery, foggy stuff. And I'm going to dry that. Okay, the next mountain is going to be this one on the far right. I'm going to start with the same color that I just used to get about the same amount of pigment value. It doesn't quite go as high as that mountain that really light one. It's going to come over. I see a problem here. Going over that one, I can see it. I have a little line here that I've got to try to add enough pigment to the outside that it hides it. There, I got that hidden. Comes down, it's very cliffy, very rocky. I want it to come just over this one. Now I'm going to add more pigment to my petal. And I'm going to be a little playful and add some purple. Now I'm just going to fill this in, this big corner. I'm going to add a little green. Now it's changed from purple to green. I'm just playing with these two colors. I'm just trying to see how much variety I can get from these two colors. And then it's going down right at the half and slightly over. The very bottom of this looks kind of misty. And I'm going to fill in this corner that I'm pointing to with my fingers where my name is with just a lot of pigment. Ooh. All my brush strokes are vertical. Everything goes down, 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 down. And there's a couple little trees right here, but I want to make sure that they're exactly the same value as the little mountain. So right in here, I'm just going to put some little trees that are the exact same value as my mountain. Okay, I just have this last mountain on the far left to put in. And it's going to be the darkest part of the whole painting. And these little trees right in here are going to be where my eye goes. So almost seems like we should start with this part of the painting. But, okay, I'm mixing up fresh paint. It's going to be really, really thick. There it is. It's dark, dark, dark blue. And this is just kind of a bit of a problem because that's just slightly above the half, and then the trees go higher. So that actually is good. And then it ends up not quite to the half here. So it's going to stay out of the half. Here's the half, here's half. Okay, so this part of the mountain where I'm pointing with my finger right below where the trees attach is slightly higher than the half. And then the trees go much, much higher than that. So this is about where it is, right about here. This is more than half. Just gonna come in a little bit. And then start coming down. Get that all filled in. This is the darkest part of my painting now. It's even darker than the far right. Coming down. I have this very, very dark blue. I'm going to play with the pigments a little bit. Make it very, very dark purple and make it very, very dark green. So that's filled in really, really dark. Dotting a little, even more green into the mountain. So it kind of maybe has the shape of like that's filled with trees. I have to be very careful that the paint in my brush and the paint that is on my paper has the same amount of water in it. Because if I start adding watery paintbrushes to this, I'm going to get blurs and lots of watermarks. So now, once I get that mountain in, I'm going to use this exact same amount of paint in my brush and put in the trees. I'm going to use this brush. I'm not going to go to a smaller one. I'm just going to use the tip of it. And I'm holding it sideways like this. I think I'm going to put these in because I do it right where, if I put the first trees in right here and they don't work out, I can mat them out. So I'll practice right here. I'm just kind of putting, and they kind of lean. They sort of lean. They're very, there's that. Okay, that's good. I'm going to be brave. Now this one's going to be higher right here, right above the mountain. I can touch my paper towel and have less paint in it. And now, and make little, I'm just touching it at these different angles and making little tree branches. This takes guts. Paint the whole painting and then add these. We can do it though. Just a piece of paper. Right, Penny? And then, so I put the branches in first, or no, I put in the branches in first, and now I'm going to put in the trunks. With just like the bottom two bristles of this brush, just barely touching it. So it's going to make the skinniest little line up. But I'm resting my thumb on my painting so that I can just use a couple bristles. Make a second trunk. I'm gonna make a leaning trunk. I'm gonna make a couple branches come out. There's the top trees. They stand out. And I'm gonna put a few branches that are hanging out from the side of the mountain every once in a while. Not the same distance apart, not 3 of them. And then I'm going to put in this tree here. It goes right here. I need to make my mountain come out just a little bit so that I can get the okay, now I'm going to put a trunk up to those branches. There's a few down here, very bottom, coming down this. Good. Oh, it's good. Very Chinese mountains. Beautiful colors. Very good.
Thank you.
What did you?
Nice.
Oh, it's beautiful. Can you pull it towards your face a little more, closer to your body? Well,
Up higher.
up higher.
There you go.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Have you been there before? Have you seen those in person?
What is this?
Oh, it's really nice. Beautiful. Just the one thing I would do is that middle mountain, that first one that we put on,
Uh-huh.
that whole, it's kind of outlined. And so it just needs to be a little bit more filled in.
Okay.
Wow, beautiful. Really, really beautiful. And the birds add to it because your eye goes to that little notch. The colors worked really well for you. Your shapes are beautiful. Nice painting, Shar. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, those mountains really feel
Wow.
the
Oh, that's very nice.
vertical feel of them. And your little tree and your focal points really nicely done. Very delicately done. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's some purple there.
Dramatic.
Just had to add some more filler in here like Vicky had to do.
Yeah.
Not
And
now,
even in that one, you could use even more. Yeah, because it's one level closer. Yeah, good.
Here.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful. Yeah, your tree shapes are really nice. Mountain shapes are nice.
I don't like these two.
Yeah, they're too similar. So are mine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's easy to fix though.
I guess I make the one on, I guess make the darker one taller.
Uh, taller and wider, just so it doesn't repeat the shape.
Right.
Very good.
Thank you for joining us on YouTube. I love these two colors. Every time I use them, I enjoy them again.